And we are live. Woo.
Right.
All right. Today is Thursday, August 10th. Peace and blessings. Oh, peace and love and light to everyone that is watching this live and those who will watch it afterwards. How are you, Abdullah?
I'm doing well, Sister Najma. Just excited about you know upcoming
Life.
upcoming events, upcoming events,
Good.
and also a lot of connections we're making in consciousness, and the platforms are growing. So this is
Mhm.
good. I'm
We're
excited about
matching today, Abdullah. This is the look at this.
that. I know
Look
I
at
know we
your
are.
kufi. See? Great
Yeah, we
minds think
are.
alike.
It's exact. In
This
fact,
is
it's the look exact skin, the same color. This one, yeah, yeah,
exact same
and
color. We
and
did
you
not
got
plan
blue.
this
You have
very
blue too. You have blue up in there.
yeah.
That's a
This
different
is so
shade of blue,
wonderful.
but it's all right.
All right, everybody. We
Listen
have
here
a,
to me.
a very heavy show today. We're going to start with some announcements, and then we're going to get into our etymology as usual, and then we'll get into our lessons. The
Mhm.
spirit is really on my heart today to really talk about women right now and this war that is against women on so many different levels, and families. Outside in the communities right now, we have a Muslim sister in Maryland where I reside, and she is missing. And 2 weeks before, they found another woman not far from her murdered. They haven't found her yet. She was born in Africa. She's here in the United States. She's a devout Sunni Muslim. She goes to the masjid regularly. And she went for a walk 2 days ago in the park. And now she is missing. I want to put her picture up. But before that, I want to go get through a couple of announcements. I don't know if everybody is seeing this Popeye's chicken sandwich that's coming out Saturday for free. But it reminded me of the movie They Cloned Tyrone, which I just saw this weekend for the first time. I didn't even want to watch it, but a friend of mine made me watch it. And when I saw this today, it reminded me of the movie of They Cloned Tyrone. I don't know if anyone has seen the movie, but it's worth watching. It's a comedy, but it also has a lot of subliminal messages that are definitely, I think most of us would be able to pick up on when we see the movie. The other announcement, of course, with the sister. One second. Oh, I'll get to her last. But I wanted someone last week was asking about Lamont and George's court cases. And so I was able to pull the cases up. It looks to me that their cases are closed out. I'm not sure, if they accepted a plea deal or anything, but I did want to just show everybody what has happened so far in their case. Both cases are closed, which means that they either pled or it's possible that it's been appealed maybe to the next level court. I'm not sure. So if anybody else has information, because I couldn't answer the people in the chat that were asking last week. This is George's case right here.
Yeah. There's
Let's see. So he pled not guilty, as you can see right here, and then his charges. I don't know if everybody knew what the charges were, but he was charged with, and you can see they have Lamont as the co-defendant for him with George, but his charges were uh, at the hearing, firearm possession with a felony conviction. He pled not guilty on that. Judge William Greer was the judge in that case. And then this third charge was loaded handgun in a vehicle, which was a misdemeanor. Handgun, wear and carry, and transport in vehicle, another charge. He pled not guilty on all of these. And that's George. And so Lamont started in district court right here, and then it went to circuit court, which is the next level court in Maryland. His first hearing was December 30th, 2022. Status hearing he was charged with firearm possession with a felony conviction, and he pled nolo contendere. Not really sure what that means. Maybe it means I'm not pleading anything.
Yes, no, yes.
Mm-hmm. Commitment pending hearing as of November 2022. And then let me see the last entry. There was a writ served July 12th. There was an order July 12th, a criminal bill for costs July 6th, commitment record issued. So commitment record issued sounds like there was some kind of commitment. Just can't see the document, so I don't know. But I hope that's helpful. You can go back and look at the case number and look it up if you need more information, because that's all I was able to get publicly. All right. And last but not least, oh, that's not it. The fires in Hawaii. We have to give our energy to these people in Hawaii and all over the world, because Mother Nature's energy is on the scene. And I know a lot of people don't believe that there are energies besides ourselves that are here, but they are. And it's so much happening in the world right now. And we have to keep our energy correct and be around people that are going to uplift us and not take our energy away from us, males and females. And so for that, Abdullah, I want to say thank you, because you bring the yin yang energy weekly that allows me to really know that there are brothers out here who do love women unconditionally, that are Moors, right? And so for that, I want to say publicly thank you. And Shem. Abdullah has an event coming up September the 8th, 2023. Abdullah, can you briefly tell everyone what this is about so that
Yes.
people have more information?
I I connected with this brother Derek and Elijah, and through Instagram. And I've been out there for so long. I've sold thousands of books, and so people know me, anyway. But I connected with them a couple weeks ago, and they wanted to, bring me to West Virginia. So I won't be speaking to Shriners. It'll be done at a shrine temple. This is the European
Mm.
shrine temple. This is the Benign Kadim temple. There's
Mhm.
227 ancient Arabic order of the nobles of the mystic shrine temples in the world. All right, so this is one of the 207. And now you have the ancient Egyptian Arabic order of the nobles of the shrine. That's Prince Hall. That's the brothers. So so I came up with this title, the Moorish connection to Masonry in the shrine, because I'm going to be speaking at a shrine temple, and it's going to be live streamed. Y'all can watch it. This is a free event.
Oh,
So
okay.
since the event is free, I said, well, let's stream it. Let's live stream it. So other people could watch it. So I was on the phone with the camera guy,
Mhm.
so he knows how to do all that, and gonna set the premiere up, and so yes. So I'm excited.
Interesting.
I just spoke with the camera guy about 15 minutes ago. So I
Okay.
think he might be watching now. So he does have the link. So shout out to Brother Common and Brother Derek and Brother Elijah. All right.
Okay.
So
Peace,
thank you
peace,
for
peace,
bringing
everyone.
this event to our people. And this is going to be this type of topic is very popular. I
Mhm.
think the Moorish, in fact, your brother recorded the Your brother recorded me at the high what's it called, the lodge in Washington D.C.
Mm-hmm.
I forget the name of the lodge. Um, King Solomon or something Grand Lodge in Washington D.C.
Mm-hmm.
Your brother was there, and that was and I was live, and he actually that was one that was called the Moorish Connection to Masonry, and that was my most popular DVD.
Okay.
That was yes. So these type of topics are happy, and I'm going to be coming strong with it and making it clear that one, the name Arabic is
Mm-hmm.
a cover up. They've substituted there are authors, there are many authors who use more in the documentary evidence. You see
Mm-hmm.
the name, you see more in treaties and letters and captivity records, but there's some authors who will substitute Arab, more with Arab.
Uh-huh.
That's a cover up. So this ancient Arabic order of the nobles of the mystic shrine is the name Arab is a cover up, covering up, so burying our Moorish nationality and national identity. So I'm excited about this. I'm very excited that it's going to be streamed and that many people can watch it. All right.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I can't wait. And as more happens or whatever's going on between now and then, I know you're in the stages of setting everything up. Just
You
keep us
said yes.
abreast.
This slide came out today. We can post this every week, and I'll let you know once we get these. Once the notification set up for the stream yard, let people know all that. Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. Last but not least, is Sister Miriam Silla. This sister again, she's missing. She's 56 years old, I believe. So I want to just let everybody see her face and see her picture. Give her and her family some energy, and let's just try to manifest that she is found safely, uh, and that she and other women around the world who don't really get a lot of publicity when they go missing, especially melanated women, and the ones who are also, in households right now, going through a lot of abuse and not really able to tell people what's going on. Let's just send our energy out because we need women. We are important. We matter, and we have to keep ourselves first and keep our energy up as much as possible. So let's just send energy to the sister. Thank you, everybody, for that. Alrighty. Etymology time.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
All right. All right, y'all. This is the basic sound and language chart. This was taught to me in 1993, in the fall of 1993, when I was my first semester at the Temple University Pan African Studies Community Education Program, known as PASEP. Uh, Professor Burton and Richard Bailey were my teachers. Richard Bailey was actually a student, and then he actually, was able to um, become competent enough to teach the class. So he was Professor Burton. Professor Burton supervised the class. So this is known as the basic sound and language chart. And then in linguistics, you will learn this in that deals with reconstruction, morphology, and phonology. So this will fall under morphology and phonology. All right. So you have here your labials or lip sounds, your dental sounds, and your guttural sounds or throat sounds. Labials, lip sounds, dentals, teeth sounds, guttural throat sounds. All right. You have your nasals, your liquids, your vibration, vibrating, non-vibrating. All right. Plosives, fricatives. I'm explaining all that. All right. Labials are They're called labels because you use your lips to produce the sounds M, B, P, V, F, all right, W. So you use your lips to produce the sounds. With M, you're using your lips and your nasal cavity. That's why it's under the nasal. Mm, and you have your B, your B and P are lips. B, b. Now V is a vibrating sound. When you produce the sound B, it vibrates. B, b. Put your hand over your throat, on your throat. B, ball, baseball, bat. P, pretty, put, play. All right. So that's why it's known as vibrating. All right. Then you have they're also known as plosives, because plosive means close. I mean,
Mhm.
when you to produce the sound B, your lips are closed. They start off as closed. Like try to open it. You can't produce that sound. It has to start. Your lips are closed. B, P, B, P, P, play. All right. You have V and F. V is vibrating victory. Uh, victory. Uh, visit. V. Then you have your non-vibrating fly, uh, freight, and as you know, your pH in Greek is pH, and in Latin is F. The pH in Latin transliterates to the F in Latin. The pH in Greek transliterates to the F in Latin. All right, and they're fricatives, means that fricative, like as in means break. So there is an opening. There's an opening to produce the sound V. Your mouth is open. They're not closed as in B and P. When you produce the sound B and P, your lips aren't closed. Here, your lips are open. All right. Mm, victory. All right. All right. So your semivowels are W, U, and WH. So let's go to your dentals or your teeth. Now to produce the sound N, you use your teeth. Mm, all right. Your tongue is placed on your teeth, back part of your teeth. Nancy, nice, neat. All right. So there's teeth are involved. All right. Here we have your L and R are liquids because they roll, and you also use your teeth to produce those. Uh, Larry, Ricky, Ricky, Ray. So your teeth are used to produce these sounds. D and T. D, we know what vibration means, vibrating means. We also know what non-vibrating means. We know what plosive means now. So you D, D, dog, D. Your teeth produce the sound. You have to use your teeth. D, day, and it's vibrating. All right. T, non-vibrating. Table, top. You're using your teeth. That's why they're known as dentals. All right. We have your Z and S, your soft TH, your J, your soft G, your CH, zipper, silly, throw, soft GH, G, J, jingle, soft G would be hard G with the O at the end. Soft G with get. Get is a soft G. All right. So you have your hard TH, breathe. That breath, breath is the soft TH, breath. Breathe is the hard TH. Breath, soft TH, breathe, hard TH. We have your SH, ST, CH, ZH, ZSG. I'm going to give um, more examples for those next week. All right, so we have here by she with your SH, and we have here your ZH. We have she, we have zebra with your Z, sink. And so when now we go in here with the gutturals, the throat sounds. We have walking, walking. And so you use your nasal cavities to produce the NG and also your throat. You have your R at the end. This is the R as in roar. Roar. So the R will be the last letter of the word. Your hard G as in go. Got. Go. Got. Good. That's vibrating. You have your non-vibrating, the K. Kite, king, care, kite, king, and you have your C, which is hard, as in cord, the hard C, cord.
Mm-hmm.
You have your QU as in queen, queen. The CH as in cheer, cheer. And then you have here your H and your Y. Y and I are semivowels. So Y is a semivowel. And the H, house, hose. All right. So we're gonna. So this is important in understanding morphology and phonology and knowing how words, the concept of how letters are transliterated from one language to another, as in the P. The P in Latin, pater, translates to the F in English. So both P and F are labials. Pater, father. The TH, the T in pater transliterates to the TH in father. So you have your T to TH. Right? So you have this transliteration means across the letter. This transliteration, and it's based off of this chart here, its understanding of this chart, they're dealing with the reconstruction of words over from one language to another. How words are reconstructed or transliterated from one language to another.
Question.
Yes.
So you were saying that the Latin, like the PH is the Latin.
No, Greek. PH is Greek.
PH is Greek. So
Yes. Yes.
So then what's the Latin part? So is
Yeah.
Greek, so is Latin first and then Greek was second?
No,
then,
Greek is older. Greek is older. A lot of words have also been transliterated from Greek into Latin.
Okay. And then, so then the Arabic came in after the Greek and the Latin?
No, the Arabic, all right. The there's 4,000, there's over 4,000 Arabic words in Spanish and Latin.
Oh.
What why? Why how that happened? Once again, you know, the Moorish rulership in Europe. And they a lot of the literature was written in Arabic. You have medical treatises. There is a society, a preservation society known as the Society of Timbuktu. That's a preservation society. Were several, a few thousand books that were passed down through various kinfolks and for hundreds of years. And the Preservation Society has a lot of those books. You have Qurans and medical books, astronomy books, math books, and most of them are written in Arabic.
Mm.
They're books that were there. The library Cordoba housed over 600,000 manuscripts written in Arabic.
600,000?
Yes, 600,000. Library Cordoba. Yes, under Moorish rulership. Our mark is so strong there. Our mark is so strong in throughout Europe. Yeah, there's no French culture and Dutch culture and Danish culture and Swedish culture. That doesn't exist. Italian culture and this doesn't exist. They're calling it Italian culture. They're calling it Swedish culture, French culture, English culture, Danish culture. So let's go to the other chart. Just wanted to give them a taste of this. You have what's called the family of languages. There's the family of languages chart. You have your Indo-European languages, your Latin languages, and you have what's known as comparative method, where you can compare two languages from the same family or two languages from two different families, i.e., these are from different, you have here Latin, but English, Old English, Gothic, and Proto-Germanic are in the same family. That's in the Germanic family of languages. That's the Germanic family. Latin is in the Romance languages or Latin-based family. So this is a different family. Latin's a different family. So you see here, let's go back to that. All right, you see here, Lat Pater, that P, and what do you see in the Germanic languages? Old English, Gothic, Proto-Germanic. You see the F, right? See the F. So in the Latin languages, it's P. In like that is as in French, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese. It would be P. In the Germanic languages, it's F and V. It's F and Danish it's V. Vader. Vader. Darth Vader. Vader is father. Father. Vader is father. See? All right, so let's look at this. See, it's Vader, but it's V in Danish. It's Vader. So in Latin, it's a P. And in most of the Germanic languages is F, and in a few of them it's a V. And that goes back to that chart, that colorful chart that we just finished going over.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at brother. Brother. All right. So we have here in Latin, it's F. It's F. And we have here the Germanic languages is B. You see the Germanic languages, Old English, Gothic, Proto-Germanic. All right. It's B.
So when you say dramatic, you're
That Germanic is a family of languages.
okay.
All right. I should have had the chart here. That's called a family of languages. You have you have Old English,
Mm-hmm.
Middle English, Modern English, Old High German, Old Low German. You have Danish. You have Dutch. You have Old Phrygian. Right? Those are Germanic languages.
Okay.
Why are they classified as languages that are grouped together in a family based on their structure? Once again,
Mm-hmm.
all right, structure. Let's go back to this. And in Latin, in the Latin languages, it's a P. In Latin, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, Catalan, Castilian, Aragonese, it's a P. It's a P.
Mm-hmm.
But in the Germanic languages, it's a F, and in some other language, and V. It's an F and V. So there's the structure. Look at the structure here. FDR. Don't look at the consonants. Don't look at the consonants.
Mm-hmm.
The structure of a structure of a word, or vowels. Don't look at the vowels. The structure of a word are the consonants. F D F D E R, Old English. F D F D F D R F D R F D R. So you see that there, that structure, FDR, Proto-Germanic, Gothic, FDR, all right, Old English, FDR. Now let's go to Latin, PTR, PTR. So the structure are similar. That's why they're grouped together as Germanic languages based
Mm-hmm.
on their proximity as well as their structure. The structure doesn't, there is not a extreme change in structure. Whereas when it goes into Latin languages, the F is transliterated to the P, and the D is transliterated to the D to the T, or in this case, the vice versa, because Latin is older. The P is transliterated to the F, and the T and pater is transliterated to the D. So you can do what's that. So if I was comparing Latin and Old English, that's called a comparative method. I will be comparing two languages from two different families, of languages. Two languages from two different family of languages. In linguistics, that's called comparative method.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do another one. Let's do 10. Let's do 10. Decim. Decim that's Latin. What do you see in the Germanic languages? You see a T. You see a T. All right, so the D in the Latin languages transliterates to the D in the Germanic languages. That's Old English, Middle English, Modern English, Old High German, Low German, Phrygian, Danish, Dutch, Swedish. All right, those are Germanic languages. So you can get a handle on and using comparative understanding that basic sound and language chart, and knowing how letters are shifted or transliterated or reconstructed. how words are reconstructed from one language to another. So this is learning etymology. This is learning linguistics. This is the methodology. So it's not just looking up in a dictionary. There's methodologies of learning of to this.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's go to the next chart.
So the main thing is reading the consonants or trying to familiarize ourselves with taking out the vowels
Yeah,
in
you the
words.
structure is the structure is the consonants. The
Okay.
structure is the consonants.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because the vowels, when you're looking at vowel shifts, that you
Mm-hmm.
also got what's called vowel shifts. You know, umlaut, ablaut. All right, vowel shifts, where it shifts from a single vowel to a double vowel, or double vowel to a single vowel, or an A to an I. That changes, that deals with sound too. You have
Mm.
what's called vowel shifts. That's called vowel shifts.
Okay.
Umlaut, ablaut. All right, vowel shifts. All right. But I want to just focus on the structure being the consonants. And look, 'cause we were looking at the basic sound and language chart that deals with consonants, that doesn't deal with vowels. That's why I would focus on get them to understand that basic sound and language chart, labial sounds, dental sound, guttural sounds. You also have called plateal sounds, and that deals with phonology and morphology. You will learn that if you studying morphology and phonology, guttural sounds, plateal sounds, dental sounds. You will learn vibration, non-vibration, plosives, fricatives, nasals. All right, those things that's on the chart, as I was explaining, those are part of studying morphology and phonology. This is taught at the college level, and I'm teaching now.
Mm-hmm.
And this can be taught to, I taught this to kindergartners. I taught this to first graders, second graders, third graders, fourth graders, fifth graders. All right, here we go. So this here, this is all in the same family. See? All Vulgate Latin, Italian, Spanish, old French, modern French, and Portuguese, all in the same family. So this is why I get this is I carefully chose these charts so you can understand the concept. All right. What do you see? What do you recognize? You had what's called we had Latin language, right? And then we had what? Three different languages from the Germanic language um, family tree. Now we have what? One, two, three, four, five, six. All six of these are in the same family, and this is modern English. This is modern English. All right, and all these six are in the same family. Look at the structure. What do you see in the structure? You see similarities in the structure. So these languages can be taught at the same time. It can be taught at the same time. You know what? You study Latin. I had a one of my co-workers, one of my former co-workers. She was a European, and
Mm-hmm.
she was part of the Teachers of America. And
Mm-hmm.
Teachers of America means that if you're part of Teachers of America, means that they will forgive your loans. If you sign up for Teachers of America, you can work in a inner city school or a impoverished area for 2 years, and your loans are forgiven. So young Europeans come out of college, signed up for Teachers of America, and they worked in inner city schools. All right. Well, she was one of that. She was a captain. She was one of the teachers, and she taught drama and English. And I was having a discussion with her one day, and I said, she says, "Oh, I went to Princeton University, and I got a and she said that she studied Latin for 4 years at Princeton University."
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, "Oh, wow, that's great." So she says, "Well, yes, I can read. I can read Italian, I can read Latin, I can read Italian, I can read Spanish, I can read French, I can read Portuguese, you know. And then I said, wow, that's great. She was downplaying it, you know, but I know better. She's not, no, I know better. She was downplaying it, downplaying the value of what she has, you know. Oh, but I can't speak Spanish, but I can't. But I say, but you can read. You can make six figures
Mm.
easily. You can read these six different languages. That means you can what? Translate, transcribe. And are you kidding me? She was downplaying. So she studied Latin. All right, just follow me, y'all. Follow me. I brought this story up for a point. She studied Latin. Means that by studying Latin, she was also studying what? Italian, Spanish, Old French, because those are Latin-based languages. And see the similarity, see the structure there? This is what she knows. And I know this too. So she was, so she was downplaying it. I know better because I know this. I know this similarity in structure. All right, take a snapshot of this, y'all. All right, just wanted to share this offer this to y'all. All right.
All right.
All right. So Shim is Shim on?
He is. Shim came on early.
Shim is on? Oh my goodness.
Shim has been on
quiet.
Oh,
Shim is on the. He got the light on the situation.
Shim, where are you?
Probably this you could bring up the yes.
I think
we want to do all right. The topic is part 2 of do United States courts have the lawful treaty authority to hear Moorish cases? The United States courts have the lawful treaty authority to hear Moorish cases. And this is a very important concept to come to understand and to grow to. And we looked at Article 3, Section 2 of the United States Constitution last week. Where this, I want to do a standing is no different for exercising through. Is this one? Amendments capacities.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where we left off. I think it was past this.
Personal experience and direct knowledge that the Moorish courts respect. Oh, this was the comment. This is a comment from one of the listeners.
Okay, so we were.
Yeah, that was one of the comments from one of the listeners. Misconceptions. Yeah, we dealt with yes. All right, so Shim is. Did Shim drop off?
No, he must have gone to get some juice or something.
Yes. All right. Improper interpretation and application by some conscious Moors. Yes. That's the quick review on Article 3, Section 2 of the United States Constitution. And we
you want me to go back?
Yes, go back to that. All right, here we go. Article 3, Section 2 of the United States Constitution. Constitution gives United States courts exclusive jurisdiction to hear the following cases. Article 3, Section 2, Clause 1, cases or controversies The judicial power shall extend to all cases in law and equity arising under this Constitution, the laws of the United States, and treaties made or which shall be made under their authority, to cases affecting ambassadors, other public ministers, and consuls, to all cases of admiralty and maritime jurisdiction, to controversies to which the United States shall be a party, to controversies between two or more states, between a state and citizen of another state, between citizens of different states, between citizens of the same state claiming lands under grants of different states, and between a citizen, between a state or the citizen thereof and foreign states, citizens or subjects. All right. So when you're looking at state citizen of one state, that would be South Carolina, and citizen of another state would be North Carolina. All right. So that's so these so those are cases in which the United States courts has exclusive jurisdiction to hear. Now, when you're looking at the question is, do the United States courts have lawful treaty authority to hear Moorish cases? It means that does the Moorish treaty give United States courts authority to hear Moorish cases? No, there is an we're going to get into that. There's an extraterritoriality. What is extraterritoriality? Which means that the the Moorish government, through the Moorish treaty gives a Moorish consul exclusive jurisdiction to hear Moorish cases. All right, Shem, put some light on. Turn the light on, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes. So when you're looking at extraterritoriality, the jurisdiction, this means that you have, for example, Najma.
Yeah.
The laws of my house governs my children, while my children are in your house. While your children are in my house, your laws of your house governs your children while they're in my house. That's called extraterritoriality. Then the laws of your house would not govern my child, and the laws of my house would not govern your child while your child's in my house. Meaning the laws of your house will extend. The laws of your house extends to this house while your children are here. They govern your children. The laws of your house governs your children in my house. Mm-hmm. That's what that means. All right. That's written in language. That's called extraterritoriality or compensatory. All right. I'm going to we're going to look at the history of that. They have reduced that over the period of time. So this is why those Moorish treaties are very powerful. Extraterritoriality and compensatory, or of course called compensatory jurisdiction, now it's known as extraterritoriality, was in vogue back 2,000 years ago, 1,500 years ago, 800 years ago, and you will see that. I have excerpts of the United States Consulate Counter Memorial, which is in chapter 9 of Moors and Masonry part 2, and I took 15 pages out of that 600-page United States Counter Memorial that in the 1952 case between France and the United States. and it goes into depth of the history of extraterritoriality capitulation. All right, and I'm like, whoa, this is powerful.
So that's in
This is
chapter 9, you said?
chapter 9 of Moorish Masonry Part 2.
Okay.
Chapter 9, and also have excerpts here in this outline we have. I took that and placed it here.
Gotcha.
All right, Shem,
Yes.
are you with us? All right, we can
Yes.
continue. We just doing a review. We continue.
Yes. Doing
All
good,
right,
Professor. You're doing great, Professor. You're doing great.
all right. All right. Some conscious Moors have taught that this clause of Article 3, Section 2 of the United States Constitution is the authority for the establishment of Moorish consular courts. All right. So they see this has been taught that Article 3, Section 2 of the United States Constitution, some conscious Moors have taught that this is the authority for the establishment of Moorish consular courts. That is an erroneous concept. Consular courts are established by treaty, not by constitutions, meaning that the Japanese constitution, Japan, does not have no constitution has an establishment of consular court clause that's established by treaty. All right. Najma,
Yes.
I draft in my constitution
Mm-hmm.
an establishment of consular court clause. Well, how can I draft in my constitution an establishment of consular court clause? Like, I would need your permission. Like, how can I establish? I would need your permission through treaty to establish a consular court there. Like, how can I? I would need your permission. I can't on my own say it's done through treaty. So this is a erroneous. These erroneous concepts has inhibited the growth of this movement. My brothers and sisters, it's not a lot. I'm gonna say it again. It's not a lot. I'm gonna say it again. It's not a lot. What is the issue? Misconcepts. For 25 years, I was trapped in misconcepts that inhibited my growth and development. It's not a lot. It's that giving the people proper foundation and proper concepts. This is a huge misconcept that Article 3, Section 2, this is taught. This is on supporttheconstitution.org. This is on supporttheconstitution.org with Lamont. And we learned that from. This is on there. Go to the supporttheconstitution.org. You'll see that on there. That Article 3, Section 2 is the establishment of the authority of Moorish consular courts. That's on there. That's a huge misconcept. I said to Shem, 4.5 years ago, we're going to have to address a lot of misconcepts. We're going to be attacked, Shem. We're going to be attacked. Let's be prepared for that. You know, he's down. Shem's like, hey, we're going to be attacked. I mean, yeah. And that's the bottom line. We have been attacked, which is fine. All right. But that's the territory we in. So in order for us to grow the people, we're going to be attacked. I said to Shem, we're going to be attacked because we're going to be challenging these concepts. And that's what Shem, am I right, Shem?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, let me add on to that. See, what Professor's saying is that when you got a misconcept, how do you address it? You go to the higher intellectual parties. Now, let me explain something to you. Why would all the nations of the world, states, European, colonial powers, where we may agree to the Convention on Consular Relationship? Where did that concept come from? It come from Professor Abdullah. They want to reestablish that traditional format that's already settled. That's a well-settled principle. So the nations got together on the UN Charter, on the UN Conference, established a precept that will stand on basic Moorish principles, extraterritorial jurisdiction. They will make sure that all nations apply the ancient concept to all treaty nations and all parties as members to that international organization. So you can see the UN implicate that same channel of energy what Abdullah's talking about. Where that convention come from? Where did the convention on Moors on consular relationship come from with the UN? What principle are they standing on? What he's talking about right now. As a matter of fact, see, this is what we have to understand. Please, this is very, very important. Anytime the United States themselves, the Congress, ratify and sends an agent with full power to negotiate on their behalf, and he draft agreement of a treaty, Congress ratifies it, and the president signs it. What that mean? That means that whatever's in the Constitution, their Constitution, they're stripping for having that jurisdiction over their citizens. So if the United States signed a treaty with Morocco, established a council jurisdiction to govern Moors, they would never sign that. Know why? Because they said, I'm going to show you what I mean. You remember one time the United States got put on the fire, right? But not honoring treaties. Hear me out. With the UN, the United States put under the gun, under fire. You know what the answer was? We have a clause in our Constitution called the Supremacy Clause that we honor the treaties of the law of our land. The international law is the law of our land. Anything that Congress signed and the president signed and Congress ratified is the law in all our territory. So they agreed to you. They're telling you right there. So they're telling you that the treaties are the law of the land. You know, please hear me out. United States told the whole world, the UN, The Hague, that we have a clause in our Constitution that international agreements are the law of the land was signed by the United States. So if the treaty is the law of the land, what that mean? Whatever inside the treaty is res judicata. It's a judgment. So if the council jurisdiction exists, why would you run to Article 2 and say that's the council's jurisdiction?
Article 3.
Article 3.
Yeah.
Say that's a fraud. See, what we dealing with now is a parable conclusion. It's called a parable conclusion. It's something that don't exist. Somebody making it up. What you mean, Shem? I'm gonna speak from experience. When a brother came to me about 3 months ago, not Michael, another brother, Abdullah, I showed his wife is a Sheikhess. She went to the court and filed a petition to be removed. I showed her how to do it. I drafted it, sent it to her. She modified, put her stuff in there. She filed it, and she did notice removal. As she got the case number, she did notice removal from the state court to the federal court. And I'm gonna say something. To be transferred to the Mukti jurisdiction based on 1856 treaty. Watch this. What happened was this right here. She went down there. She said, they didn't give me the case number right away. I said, now we'll give it to you because of the magistrate. A special magistrate sits there under the Roman Act. See, we got to look at the Constitution. When you say the Constitution, Article 3 is the council court, I disagree with that. I'm going to show you why. I'm going to point the evidence. When Congress signed the Enrollment Act, the Removal Act, excuse me, they had also passed a treaty, a statute, saying diversity of citizen. Well, more than one state have a controversy with another state, hear me out, or a citizen of another state have a controversy with a citizen of another state. They got a statute, diversity of citizenship statute. Hear me out. But when it comes down to a government, the United States in a treaty with, they passed the removal statute act. The removal act that allows the consul or the sheikhs to remove the case out of the United States political jurisdiction to that treaty nation based on that treaty. That's why the removal act is there. Now, what happens next? Now, I'm gonna show something. When she did that for him, right, and she tasked it to the state with the case number, they gave it to her later on. I said, go back online, you're gonna get it. They probably give it to you a week later. I was right. They gave her the case number a week later, told her, you got an international matter. Look what it said, you got international matter. Therefore, a special magistrate had to issue that number. And they gave it to her. She removed the case from state court. Watch this. On the removal act, look what happened. On the CFR, yes, CFR, Code of Federal Regulations, the Foreign Committee, Subcommittee of Foreign Regulations, meaning Congress got a special committee that passed policy, private policy, to govern international matters. He removed it on that CFR. Look what happened. Then I said, go to your court, go to your court. Now you got to enforce the treaty. They can't enforce it for you. They don't have jurisdiction. Your court has the power under the treaty to force that criminal jurisdiction, this criminal matter. Guess what happened? He filed a petition with notice removed from the federal court to his court, and he gave it a number. He tested number removed from the federal court to his Mukti court, right? Look what happened. The judge in the federal court closed the case. I'm gonna explain what happened here. Normally, when the federal court closed the case in a criminal matter, I'm gonna tell you what's going down here. Either the person is a foreman, a snitch, have became a snitch, and they closed the case because he's working for the government now, or it's a matter where the federal or state court has no jurisdiction whatsoever, period. Meaning that there's nothing concrete established in any record, any judicial acts, any constitutional, any legislative act or treaty, but gives the United States courts jurisdiction. Remember, the courts only delegate authority from Congress. Wherever Congress passed, giving authority to the tribunals, the circuit courts, and the district courts, that's all authority they got. Their mother is Congress. So wherever Congress delegate to create that court, delegates some authority to the office, that's all they got. And guess what? Congress has not delegated authority to any federal district court, circuit court, to hear treaty foreign matters on international law. They did not. Show it to me. Congress have not delegated authority to instead of the circuit courts and the federal courts, district courts, to hear any matters of treaties with any foreign nation based on treaties dealing with extraterritorial jurisdiction under council jurisdiction. There's nothing delegated. So if you can't read that in language, Congress have not. Let me say something to you. If Congress did that, right, that means that the Supreme Court have a right to say, you know what? We can hear we can bring the council here. The council can appear before us, and we have to rule on that case based on a treaty. That's it. But there's no language in any legislative act or a bill passed to give the courts that power. And why ain't it? Because Congress know one thing. They already created authority, the central authority. The central authority is a private sector power of Congress, giving a council power to have a council jurisdiction to hear all matters. I mean, the council has their own court. The council sets their own court. He do letters of rogatory. He subpoena evidence, witnesses to come, evidence, and the council is the only one making final determination on that. And guess what? And the only way you can appeal is to the council general. That's it. If the council general affirm that, it's a final case. So we got to understand what's going on here. That the United States have left, when it comes to extraterritorial jurisdiction, it left it to the council. So so what's going on here now is that the United States has withdrawn the council of the United States out of Morocco. So therefore, if the council no longer hear any matters, the federal courts never had authority to hear it. So now the United States citizens are operating in Morocco and protected under French protector. Let me say, yes, they are. United States citizens are protected under French protector. The Feds Treaty, that's their protection. United States citizens, United States corporation is operating and protected under British and French treaties. Yes, they are. The export imports, the political jurisdiction. Remember, they are operating their business in the British and French zones, dominion in Morocco. So they don't have the only protection they got is according to the French and British treaties. That's it. But nobody would never teach. Nobody's teaching that because that's a proper concept. They don't know. So when you say Article 3 is the council of court jurisdiction, then I'm asking you, wait, when the United States, why would the United States in the Constitution create a council of court and they would not give that permission by the crown?
And Shem, hold on. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. What's been taught. Let's be clear on the misconcept. The misconcept that's been taught that is on supporttheconstitution.org is that Article 3, Section 2 of the United States Constitution is the authority of the establishment for Moorish consular courts.
That's
I'm talking about what I'm saying is what some conscious Moors have been teaching is that the authority of Moorish consular courts is derived from Article 3, Section 2 of the United States Constitution that is on supporttheconstitution.org. And I know other people there's been somebody, I won't say his name, has been teaching that, and Lamont learned that from that person.
Let me say this.
That is on supporttheconstitution.org website.
Let me say this. I'm going to say that to any more that's unconscious, do not accept that as being true. I'm gonna give you an example. When the days of Algeria signed a treaty with the United States, and this is any civil or any dispute arise between both parties, they said the day of Algiers shall be what? Shall be the only one to hear that case. The days of Algiers. So what that mean? So if the day is delegated authority, hear me out. When the United States wrote the Constitution, why would the United States, if this article established the council jurisdiction, why did the United States agree with the days of Algiers that the day of Algiers should be the council? Should hear all disputes between United States citizens and the Moor. See, I'm showing you evidence. That's not true. Now, why the United States said that, agreed to that? Because there's no article in the Constitution, that established a council jurisdiction between a Moor and a United States citizen. There's none. That's why they agreed to sign the Day Treaty, and they stipulated that the Day is the only one can hear a dispute. The problem is we need to get our stuff together and form our own constitution, national government, and we need to go ahead and enforce international law by standing up, being a woman, a real man, a real woman, a real man, on a woman-man principle. That's our job.
Shem, let me say this. What you're saying is not hard to do. Now, hear me out, everybody. This is for everyone. It's not a lot, is what Shem is saying. It's not. But we have the hurdle that we have, Shem. I said this 4.5 years ago. You witnessed it for 4.5 years. The hurdle that we have had is the teachings of some conscious Moors that's been out there for over 30 years. That's the hurdle that we've had. What Shem is saying is not complicated. It's not complicated. It's been the misconcept. That's what. It's been the misconcept, i.e., Article 3, Section 2 of the United States Constitution establishes Moorish consular court. That's one of the many misconcepts. that we have had to deal with time after time on our classes, on the Moroccan Post School for Government International Law, on our YouTube, on our StreamYard classes. We have people come in, all right, and they bring forth the misconcepts, and we spend a lot of time in the Academy of Providence. We had classes in 2020, 2021, the Academy of Providence, all right, 120 students, 140 students, all right. There was misconcept upon misconcept upon misconcept upon misconcept upon misconcept. All right. So when we have the curriculum as we're teaching, we have to actually what? Address misconcepts. So there were times where we didn't get through the entire lesson because we had to take time aside to address misconcepts. It's important that we do that because to say, well, we ain't got time for that. No. And if you don't address the misconcepts, you ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere if you're not addressing misconcepts now. Because that's something that's unsettled in their mind. So we do have to spend time, which we have done. And I want to tip my fez and I'll wrap my turban for the 1 millionth time to Shem. I can't unwrap it and tip it enough. I can't unwrap it and tip it enough. So I greatly appreciate you, brother. All right. This is needed. All right. This is needed. This is going to grow us. It's going to grow us. Meaning that we're even so much so that we'll be even stronger than in these concepts than a lot of Europeans. Hear me out. And dealing with the true issues, with the treaty cases that we've been dealing with, understanding the concept of the treaty between Great Britain and the United States, which most people don't understand. Treaty cases, Society versus New Haven. We'll be able to teach Europeans. We'll be stronger in these fundamental concepts of international law, knowing the French zones here, Spanish zones. I have grown so much over the past 4.5 years. And I've been able to help teach the lessons, even outside of Shem. Done one-on-one class, one-on-one, and doing this and being able to help him expand and teach. So once again, Shem, you got the floor, brother. I just want to be very clear on what the misconcept is.
Yes. What we have to understand is that we have to understand and have agreed to be bound by the what? We have agreed to be bound by what our standard is, our statute is. We got to be the maturity of ourselves. We have to agree to be bound by the maturity of the intellectual property that's in us. What you mean, Shem? How can a constitution written by a European colonial power, right, writes it, and then right after they write the constitution, say, you send the council of court, right, to turn around and agree that anything dealing with a Moor, the days Algiers have a jurisdiction, or the council. Or then you got the 1856 treaty, where the crown say, let me say something. I'm going to go back further. Let's go to the Treaty of Granada, the Spanish Treaty, Granada. In that treaty, the Moors preserve all the political rights of civil government, exercise jurisdiction over criminal matters, civil matters, and run their own government. That was decided in the Moorish treaties. United States signed a treaty with the days of Algiers. As a matter of fact, let me take it further. In the Lenape Moorish Treaty in 1778, the Delaware Treaty, hear me out. There's no delegation authority given by Lenape Moors to the United States. It does say there's one thing, though. It does explain. That's the only treaty that's telling you about jurisdiction. I'm going to go back now. 1778, the Delaware Moors did not give us jurisdiction of the United States to hear a case. What they said was that if a case is brought against a Leonard Abbey Moore, that the Moors, they have to be a jury on both sides. Hear me out. They have a jury of equal pairs. So the Moors that did Leonard Abbey Moors left it into the hands of the jury of not giving up jurisdiction to say that if a Moor going to be tried, he got to be tried on both sides of Moors, nationals, Moor citizens, and United States citizens. And also, it makes it clear that a Moor, a Delaware native, have to sit in Congress, protect their interests. So what we got going on here, remember, this is before the United States Constitution even written. Now, this is under the Confederacy. United States, to this day, does not have a conscious Moor of a Moorish government sit in a government steering them and making sure that they don't err from treaty law, international law. There's none. So how can you have a de facto government, United States of America, British subjects, Spanish subjects, Portuguese subjects, Dutch subjects, they're all the same. They're all the European families come together and form a national community, right? And go back into the colony territory of the British colonies and form a government. How can they cannot? They don't have the delegation of authority to put in a court in a constitution that they're establishing a Moorish court because they're not Moors. The Morocco emperor, the emperor of Morocco, did not delegate any authority to the subjects of Great Britain or all the European powers to form a constitution and create a Moorish court where the Moors go to their court and be tried by a European judge. You're saying that the United States created a council court, but a European judge is one hand. That don't make sense. But we got to go to the treaty. Let's go see. Always go to the treaty. See, the treaties don't lie. When we go to the treaties, it's going to tell you the truth. When the Constitution was written already in effect, they signed a treaty with the Days of Algiers. They made it clear that if a dispute arises between a United States citizen and a Moor, the Day of Algiers is the council. The Constitution is already written. So the United States would not agree to that. What they would say is that, oh, wait a minute. No, we already got a council court. We already got a clause in our Constitution where as though a Moor can come there, a Moor can bring his claims to a European, a United States judge. So that means the Moors gave up their political power and self-determined among themselves in any criminal civil matters. They gave it to a foreign government. There's nothing in the treaty said that. There's nothing. There's nothing in the treaty says that a Moor have to go to a European court and let a European judge hear his case and rule on the merit of his facts, of his situation. There's nothing there. But what it did was they enforced the ancient tradition of council jurisdiction by saying the day is the one protect the Moor's rights. Now the right is protected to the central authority. United States wrote the real law of the land is the code of is CFR, because there's a code of federal regulation. What you mean? That's the code that respects and honors international law. What you mean, Shim? They would not write a code for the central authority if the Constitution already had it. There would be no need to write that code. Matter of fact, show me one statute or act where it says that any Moors, native Moors, have a right to what? Go to our courts and be heard. As a matter of fact, the 59th Congress made it clear that if any party, any citizen or national that's not protected by his country, the laws of his country, is a stateless person. Yes. So if you go to court and say United States got jurisdiction to hear your case, you're a stateless person. What you mean? You look, that's your statehood. You go to the United States, you're giving your pledge over to the United States to what? To protect you, to hear your matters. So we gotta stop doing this. You see, what we're doing is that we're doing a great harm to each other with this mind concept. When you look at the documents, there's nothing there. And let me say this: I'm not trying to bite nobody back out. If whoever teaching this, should know by now that's a fraud. What you mean, Shim?
Hey,
That
Shim,
this,
man, stop, man. Shim, don't apologize, brother. Brother, you love your people. You love our people, brother. Brother, you love our people. I said to you 4.5 years ago, brother, we will be attacked.
yep.
I said to you, Shim,
Yes, he did.
I said we will be attacked, but I said we're gonna either free the people or we ain't. We're going to teach them or we're not going to teach them. So let's do what we're doing. I'm not apologizing for anything. All right. We're going to be attacked. We accepted that, and we're going to continue teaching.
That's right. It would be, in other words, it would be fruitless. It would be fruitless for the United States to have a constitution that it got a council jurisdiction in it already, and turn around and sign a treaty with a Moorish government and say that your council have a right to hear the matters dealing with your own citizens, your own nationals, your own aliens. So why would the United States Congress sign that treaty already having the Constitution an article allowing their judges, hear me out, allowing their judges to make decisions on foreign matters dealing with a foreign national and their political jurisdiction? You know what that is? That defeat the purpose of international law. See, what it does is overthrow the well-settled principle of jurisdiction between ancient nations and modern nations. This principle is built up and is honored and respected by the UN on the Convention of Council of Jurisdiction. They really honoring an old established concept that has been established for thousands of years, all the way back to Quebec, Egypt,
Shim,
Babylon.
Hey, hold on, Shim. I want to show them that, Najma. I want to show them that. Those who have chat, I want to show y'all what Shim is saying to be true. All right, so that all right. You're not going to say Shim said anything. You're not going to say Shim said this is old and established. I want to show you what Shim is saying. Those who have those who have Moors and May Street, Part 2. Chapter 9. Chapter 9 of Moors and May Street, Part 2 is 15-page excerpt of the 600-page United States Counter Memorial in the 1952 French case. It has the history in that 15 pages that I have in Moors and May Street, Chapter 9 of Moors and May Street, Part 2. It has exactly what Shim is saying. It has the history of compensatory, now known as extraterritoriality jurisdiction. It has quite a few books, all right, taking it back to 2,000 years ago, 1,500 years ago, all right. I want to go, we have it here. I have it here. I have excerpts of that here. All right, those who have Moors and May Street, Part 2, Chapter 9, all right. You can go right to it, all right. Go to tomorrow. All right, I want y'all to, I don't want y'all to say, y'all don't need to say Shim said anything. You have the information. It's in Chapter 2, Chapter 9 of Moors and May Street, Part 2. It's also in the United States Counter Memorial. It's just a 600-page document. All right, so we're gonna go. We want to go right to that. We're going to have to scroll down. All right, that goes into the history of what Shim is saying. I'll tell you where to stop. Hold on, Najma, just real quick, go back up before we go there. All right, definition. There we go, definition. Consular court. There we go. Wikipedia, consular court. Consular courts were laws of courts established by foreign powers in countries where they had extraterritorial rights. They were presided over by consular officers. Next one. Here we go. Merriam-Webster. Consular court. One of the courts presided over by a minister or consul established by treaty in certain foreign countries and assigned civil and criminal matter, jurisdiction over actions, civil criminal jurisdiction over actions involving nationals of the country having extraterritorial rights. All right, continue. We get to that history. Only because Shem is mentioning the history of extraterritoriality, and we have it here already. Yeah, let's go down. Yeah, this is this is here.
The consuls.
Continue. It's Hausenstein versus Lynham. Continue. I just want to go right to what Shem was saying, so we can show them. Because I don't want that. I don't want that to get lost, because he's mentioning it. He's mentioned it, and I want people to. I want to show it. This is a dissertation. This is our consular court. That's a dissertation. I'll continue. It's adapted this dissertation. Excerpts from this dissertation. That's part of the dissertation. Yeah, so this once again, this is excerpt from Moors and Masonry, Chapter 9 of Moors and Masonry, Part 2, which is an excerpt from the 1950 United States Counter Memorial. And a counter memorial is once a memorial, and it's called a memorial in international law, which France issued a memorial to start the case, to initiate the case against the United States. The United States has 6 months to file a counter memorial. That's what's known as an international law. Continue. So this is still part of that dissertation known as. All right, here we go. There we go. See, there we go. So, all right, this is Chapter 9. Okay. Let's see from Chapter 9 of Moors and Masonry, the Moorish government, Chaldee, and exclusive jurisdiction for the Moors. Moors and Masonry, Part 2. Go to moorsandmasonry.org to get the book. Moorish Treaty Protection and Consular Relations, Capitulatory, Extraterritorial, Consular Jurisdiction. The following 15 pages are excerpts from the United States Counter Memorial presented in the 1952 case between France and the United States in the International Court of Justice. This United States Counter Memorial is a 600-page document. And I just took 15. All right, note, the following are from pages 359 to 373 of the Counter Memorial of the United States of America, compiled by the United States and presented to the International Court of Justice in support of their counterclaim that France filed in the International Court of Justice in 1950. Counter Memorial. This is defined. Oxford reference for counter memorial. The second of the written pleadings in a contentious case before the International Court of Justice, instituted by means of an application in which the respondent state replies to the statement of facts. Counter memorial. All right. And answering, this is Webster's, Merriam-Webster's.com. And answering, admitting, denying, commenting on charges in a memorial in international law. From the loss of Moorish sovereignty to the recovery of Moorish sovereignty, restoring the protection of capitulatory, extraterritorial consular jurisdiction. Next. Moors and Masonry Part 1 provides documentary treaty evidence of the Moroccan Moorish sovereignty, treaty, and consular relations with the European kingdoms, France, England, Great Britain, the Netherlands, Sweden, Spain, Portugal, Belgium, Sardinia, Denmark during the 15, 16, 17, 1800s. Moorish treaties and documentary evidence of the extensive diplomatic and treaty relations expanding 400 years. Morocco is connected to the empire of through
women.
Morocco is connected to the European kingdoms through treaties and diplomatic relations. The Moorish treaties are an implied acceptance of the system of the law of nations, and such acceptance must be presumed to revive with reversion to sovereignty. The Moorish treaties are documentary evidence that Morocco will be reverting to sovereign will be reverting states once she re-enters the family of nations, and therefore must be presumed to be bound by norms of international law, where can be classified as just cogent and preemptory norm of general international law. List of terms such was the historical development. There we go. This is what Shem's talking about. All right. This is what I wanted. I don't want them to say. Put your hands up, Shemmy. Mute your phone. Put yourself on mute, Shem.
All right.
So I want to give them the information, because in part of that counter memorial are a list of books, and as well as extraterritorial clauses from various treaties from the 16 to 1700s, where it states that the Danish council shall have extensive exclusive jurisdiction over criminal and civil counsel. The English council, the French council, the council shall have extensive exclusive jurisdiction over criminal and civil matters. All right. So this is the history. What Shem was talking about is a history of extensive history of extraterritoriality jurisdiction. This matters a lot because you can stand on this. You can stand on the history. You stand on this. List of terms such was the historical development of the practice of extraterritoriality at the beginning of the 16th century, when the European states began to enter into regular treaty relations with the Mohammedan states. This is part of them. Read this. The practice was embodied in those treaties. The practice was embodied in those treaties. Treaties concluded with.
I'm gonna have to go. I got something to take care of. Real important. I have to go right now.
All right, I'll just read. We're good.
All right. Okay.
Peace, brother.
All right, go back. I lost my train of thought. Just go back to the next page. All right, the previous page. The practice was embodied in those treaties. Treaties concluded with the Ottoman Empire, first by France, 1528 to 1530s, and thereafter by practically all European powers, Great Britain, the Netherlands, Austria, Hungary, Sweden, Italy, Denmark, Russia, Spain, Belgium, Portugal, etc., and with Algiers, Morocco, Tripoli, Tunis, Persia, Moscow, and Zanzibar, Egypt, Ethiopian, etc., provided for extraterritorial jurisdiction of the foreign consuls in cases civil and criminal involving their nationals only to jurisdictions in mixed cases, civil and criminal, in which their nationals were defendants. The philosophical foundations of extraterritoriality, as Alejandro Chatham observes, extraterritoriality is deeply entrenched in the modern practice of legal punishment. The extent to which states can assert extraterritorial criminal jurisdiction is a pivotal issue which sits at the very heart of public international law. A fundamental feature of extraterritorial jurisdiction is its transnational characteristics. Treaties of capitulation, capitulatory jurisdiction come to be referred to as extraterritoriality or extraterritorial consular jurisdiction. This jurisdiction extends authority to consuls over both criminal and civil cases, whereas consular jurisdiction only extends authority to consuls in civil cases. Capitulation, capitulatory jurisdiction. Ordinary citizens enjoying jurisdictional immunities in another state or polity. Refers to exemption, partial or complete, of aliens from the territorial laws of another state or normative culture. The application and disputes of a foreign or mixed character of the laws of the national's country of origin by their consular representatives. So you see, you got hearing the importance of government structure. The importance of government structure. This is enforced through government structure. Capitulation treaty, also referred to as extraterritorial consular jurisdiction and extraterritoriality, is a treaty of unilateral contract by which a sovereign state relinquishes jurisdiction within its borders over the subjects of a foreign state. As a result, the foreign subjects are immune for most civil and criminal purposes from action by courts and other governmental institutions in the state. Makes the capitulation. Generally refers to the exemption, partial or complete, of aliens from the laws of a foreign jurisdiction and disputes of a foreign character of the laws of their country or the jurisdiction of origin by their consular representatives. In the history of international law, any treaty whereby one state permitted another to exercise extraterritorial jurisdiction over its own nationals within the foreign state's boundaries. A treaty by which a sovereign state relinquishes jurisdiction within its borders over the nationals of a foreign state. As a result, the foreign national are immune from civil and criminal purposes from actions by courts and other governmental institutions in the state that makes the capitulation. In international law, extraterritoriality is the state of being exemption from the jurisdiction of local law, usually as the result of diplomatic negotiations. Consular court. One of the courts presided over by a consul established by treaty in certain foreign countries and assigned criminal and civil jurisdiction over actions involving nationals of the country having extraterritorial rights. Self-executing treaty. Treaties that automatically become the supreme law of the land without the need of any legislative act. Non-self-executing treaties. Treaties that need legislative action in order to become the supreme law and continue going down. These are terms. This is the we already yes continue other terms. Yes. All right, here we go. Here we go. Excerpts from the United States Counter Memorial for the 1956 six case between France and the United States in the International Court of Justice. All right, general treaty between Morocco. All right, this is the excerpt, but this is part of the comes from the Counter Memorial. General treaty between Morocco and Great Britain of 1856. The validity of this distinction can be most readily tested by applying. This is what Shim mentioned this. So we have this is really good here. All right. Let me go back there. I apologize. All right. The validity of this distinction can be most readily tested by applying it to the general treaty concluded by Great Britain with Morocco in 1856, which the French government cites as an example of the stage of extraterritorial jurisdiction, defines as compensatory system. Article 8 of this treaty grants to the consuls of Great Britain jurisdiction to decide both civil and criminal cases arising between British subjects and proteges, and Article 9 grants them jurisdiction to decide both civil and criminal cases arising between Moroccan plaintiffs and British defendants. In all cases, in all criminal cases and complaints, and in all civil differences, disputes, or causes of litigation which may occur between British subjects, the British Consul General, Consul, Vice Consul, or Consular Agent shall be sole judge and arbiter. No governor, Qadi, or other Moorish authority shall intermeddle therein. But the subjects of Her Britannic Majesty shall, in all matters of criminal and civil cognizance arising or existing between British subjects exclusively, by meetable to the tribunal of the Consul General, Consul, or other British authority. All criminal cases and complaints and all civil differences, disputes, or causes of litigation arising between British subjects and subjects of the Moorish government shall be adjusted in the following manner. If the plaintiff be a British subject and the defendant a Moorish subject, the governor of the town, of the district, or the Qadi, according as his case may appertain to the respective courts, shall alone judge the case. The British subject making his appeal to the governor or Qadi through the British Consular General, Consul, or his deputy, who will have a right to be present in the court during the whole trial. You see the importance of government structure? And this is what Shib was talking about of the cases. In the like manner, if the plaintiff be a Moorish subject and the defendant a British subject, the case shall be referred to the sole judgment and decision of the British Consul General, Consul, Vice Consul, or Consular Agent. The plaintiff shall make his appeal through the Moorish authorities, and the Moorish governor, Qadi, or other officer who may be appointed by them shall be present if he or they so desire during the trial and judgment of the case. Should the British or Moorish litigant be dissatisfied with the decision of the Consul General, Consul, Vice Consul, Governor, or Qadi, according to the case may appertain to their respective courts, he shall have a right of appeal to her Britannic Majesty's charge d'affaires and Consular General, or to the Moorish Commissioner for Foreign Affairs, as the case may be. Annex 20. Article 9. Article 9 of the treaty between Morocco and France. All right. There. Let me go down because I want to go into that. There's a, and then we're gonna come back up. There's a section there, Nazma, that has the history of extraterritoriality. These are clauses, and I want to go. We're going to read these. We're going to come back, but I'm going to go right to that what Shem was talking about. Just continue. I'll tell you. I know. I'll see it when I'll know when I see it. These are clauses. These are extraterritoriality clauses from various treaties during the 16 and 1700s, which we'll jump back to. I just want to go right to that section that has the history. And a list of books.
That's the end.
That's the end? No, can't be.
Yeah, slide 200.
Where's the? No, not far.
Yes, this is the end. Slide 200. It's 200 slides. Yep.
Go back up then. Ah, man. It's a section.
I saw something regarding what you were talking.
These are cases. These are extraterritorial. This is not. There's a list. Somebody take out Moors and Macy. Go to Moors and Macy part 2, chapter 9. Moors and Macy part 2, chapter 9. Go open up Moors and Macy part 2, chapter 9. I have to go get it.
Wait a minute.
There's in this section here, there's the list of books. There's a paragraph that has books and the history. No, I put this in there. I'm 100% sure. I put this. Yeah, this is the extraterritoriality clauses. These are the extraterritoriality clauses, and from 16 to 1700s. Oh no. All right. Article 9 of the treaty. So this is just providing clarity for everyone, and we'll definitely have a part 2. Part 3, we're gonna do a review. I'm gonna actually generate some questions. Shem did do a good job in providing some clarity for people. I don't know what page. Chapter 9. I don't have the book in front of me. Chapter 9. It has a paragraph. It's a paragraph of books, and it has like chapter 9, and has a paragraph. Like I think maybe 2 or 3 pages that go into the history. All right. I don't know. I don't have the book in front of me. I definitely don't know what page.
You want to go through some of the questions, or you want to?
Yeah, can you go back up? I'm 100. I thought I could put that here. Thought I put that here.
Up or back?
Go up. You said we were already done, so we had to go back up. I'm just trying to see if I missed it.
Yeah,
it's on page 301. Page 301.
Well, this only goes to 200, so it's definitely not on here.
Mm. This is all that I sent you?
Yes.
I go back.
Go back.
You go back up. Mm. I have to show it next week. Then I have to send it to you. Yeah, this is. You have to send it to you. There's just these are the extraterritoriality. They can read some of these too. Well, there's still some questions. I have to send it to you.
Okay.
I thought I would never leave that out. I would never leave that out. You know what? Go. It's here. It's here. It's more at the go. Yeah. Damn, this is so small that it's gonna. I think it's at the. It's at the more at the top. Then it's at the more at the top. That's what it is. It's not in this section. I think I had separated. Yeah, I know what it is now. It's more at the top. Like the very yeah. It probably take you long to get there.
What, like closer to the beginning?
Closer to the beginning. Yeah, I'm 100% sure. I gotta put it in here. That's why I can, yeah.
All right, that's the beginning.
It's not here then. All right, I'll send it. I'll send it. I have to send it
Okay.
to you. Yeah, because we all right. So let's just fill. What's the questions?
I'll go to the top. What religion? What religion did our ancestors practice, and in which language did we originate? If that makes sense.
No, I won't answer that. That's can we ask questions pertaining to? I won't answer that. Can we have
Okay.
questions pertaining to? All right.
I was going to the
Questions
beginning.
pertaining to the lesson. Questions
Okay.
pertaining to the lessons. All right, because it'll do too long. Because I there's no 3-second answer. You know, I don't do because that's not going to give any. You know, I say religion of the earth, and what did that mean? That means nothing. All right. If I say, well, our religion is the religion of the earth, and I just said that. Unless I give specifics, that means nothing. If I said astronomy, unless I give specifics, that means nothing. That's what I say. I can't. I would have to go. You have the Masonic Compass Square book, y'all. To answer that question, it's the Masonic Compass Square book answers the question. The Masonic Compass Square book and the connection, the measurement of time and gaming is that answer to the question. The entire book.
Okay, I'm just going to read from the
It's
chat.
just yeah,
It
that's
says, we must familiarize ourselves with international law concepts like post-millennium and reversion of Moorish sovereignty, national political unity. Another comment is, but isn't the very concept of international law and its enforcing bodies void ab initio because most of those nations are de facto out out the gate, thus not having any real authority to even address us.
all right. No, all right. No international law is not void. International law is not void because that's what they're using to operate. They're using international. All right. You ask me, is international law void? Is when they're using international law to interchange. They're using when they're dealing with the diplomats and embassies. This hear me out, y'all. This is for everybody. Embassies. On what basis are embassies established? Consulates. Just hear me out. Just hear me out. All right. Mail your mail. Mail something. Mail something to China, France, England, Nigeria. You said it's international law is void. I got you. It's void. We're gonna. That's the claim. That's the claim. I'm rebuting the claim. I'm refuting the claim. I'm refuting it. Here's my evidence. I mean, the person that present evidence. So I should. It really the onus is not on me, but since I have the floor, I'm refuting the claim. My evidence is this. This is my evidence. The UPU, Universal Postal Union. You mail something. Anybody mail something to France, China, England, Nigeria, so forth. How does that happen? International law is void. How does that happen? How do you mail? How does that happen? That's the UPU. That's a convention. All right. No problem. International law is void. Social Security is international. Social Security is based on international law. Hear me out. That's the Social Security Association. The Social Security Association is signed on by countries. No country's parliament or Congress can legislate a Social Security administration without first signing on to the Social Security Association. That's a humanitarian fund, the old survivor pension fund. That's a humanitarian fund. It's international. So all right. Said international law is void. I got you. We have what's called visas. The international law is void. I got you. You travel. People travel here every day. From France and China. People go from here to Mexico, from here to England, from here to France, from here to, how did that happen? How do people, Najma, how do you travel from here to Japan? How do you travel here to Japan? What are you going to do here to France or England or Germany or Australia? What with this and that? How does that passport, all right, go through customs of another? But international law is void. I'm just, please, my brothers and sisters, let's reason things through. All right. The one who made the statement, heard that from somebody. The one, I will challenge them that they say they didn't. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You heard someone say that. Yes, you did. I will challenge you to the nth degree. Yes, you did. I got 35 years in. Yes, you did. You heard somebody say that, and you are parroting it. You didn't think about it. You're just parroting it. You heard somebody on YouTube, that you've been listening to, and they're running their mouth, and they said that, and you are repeating it like a parrot. You didn't analyze it. You're just repeating it. I've dealt with thousands of people for over a 30-year period. I'm not coming out of thin air making these statements. You are parroting that. If you just stop and analyze it, as I did, I'm showing that's why I'm analyzing it. If it's void, how does all these things happen every day? Let's move on. I had to do that, Najma, just to show people how to reason through things, how to analyze.
Okay. This comment, I wasn't going to read it, but just break down why you say conscious Moors versus unconscious. I
Oh,
100%
yes, yes.
understand.
Thank you.
Someone in
Thank
the
you for that.
comment
Appreciate
mentioned
you.
that.
All right. 29 years ago, Taj and I were we in discussing that we wanted to make we want to be we wanted to have it solid among people we taught that our people are Moors. And so Taj and I, we agreed that we will use conscious Moors and conscious Moors when we in teaching and discussing. All right. What was happening, Najma, is that you would have conscious Moors would make statements like this. I haven't seen a Moor in 2 months. Now, what they mean by that, I haven't seen a conscious Moor in 2 months. So we hearing statements like that, in the class, roundtable class. So we wanted to clear that up and have conscious Moors be conscious that all our people are Moors, whether they're unconscious or not. The way they're conscious Moors who treat the way they present it is that more some type of religion, like the way they talk it. I was with Moors the other day. I saw Moors, Najma. I saw Moors in Acme, but then you didn't see Moors. I saw, Najma. I saw Moors in Acme. What they mean, Najma, is that 3 out of 300 Moors in Acme. What they mean, they saw 3 conscious Moors. Means there's 300 Moors in Acme that look like me and you. There's 300 Moors in Acme. And they'll come out, you and I sitting in the car. Right? Najma and Abdullah. I saw 3 Moors in Acme. Remember, it's 300 Moors now. There's 300 Moors in Acme. 300 Moors in Acme. Najma and Abdullah. I saw 3 Moors in Acme. And then you and I scratching our head. Yeah, but it's about 300, 400 Moors in there. You know what I mean? That's where that came from. So I just had to give you the experiences, the observations, and and why Taj and I, decided to really push that conscious and unconscious Moors. All right. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Council authority.
I hope I did justice with that. I hope so that was very important. That was a very great question. I appreciate
that. Some of our people who claim indigenous Americans say that the Moors are invaders to this land.
All right. Let me address that. Documentary evidence shows that France, Spain, Oregon, Castile, Belgium, Denmark, the Netherlands, the Dutch Republic, had wars with the Moors, had wars with Moors, that Moors had them in captivity. The Moors, who were these, the people that have that colonized our land, the nation states, France, England, the Netherlands, the Dutch Republic, had wars with Moors. They were trading with Moors, treaties with Moors. So where are the Moors at now? Like where, like, all right, they didn't have treaties. All right, they didn't have trade and protection. Like Indians, there's no. All right, Indians is not in the records where what the Indians captured the Dutch. You know, the Indians captured the French. You know, yeah, the Mercedarian, and yeah, 1198, the 1198, the Peter 1198, John de Matha established the Trinitarian to get Europeans out of Indians captivity. Yeah, in 1138, Peter Lanasco established the Mercedarian to get to get Europeans out of Indians captivity. They say Moors in their captivity records, Moors. So you have all these European powers who were enslaved by the Moors, had wars with the Moors, treaties with the Moors. You have in the 1560, in the 1560 and 1599 Geneva Bible, Blackmore. You have Blackmore. You have the term Blackamoor, predominantly used during the 15, 16, 1700s. So who are they saying who are the native people of this land then? Indians? What's the name? What's their nationality? What's the nationality of the native people of this land? Who did they didn't, that's what I'm saying. So all these European powers rose to economic and political power by dealing with the Moors in the Ottoman Empire. What fezzes do they wear? What's the name of the fez? The Moorish or the Indian fez? My bad. The black fez. Yeah, the ancient Arabic order of the nobles and mystic shrine, 227 shrine temples in the world. The mystic order, the veil prophet of the chanted well, 150 temples. They had what? They used Moorish names. These Europeans, their shrine temples are named after Moorish names. Who ruled Europe? The Moorish Empire in Europe, volumes 1, 2, and 3. All right, where the Moors at then? All right, where the Moors at? Like Moors are invaders. Like Moors are invaders. Like what are the name of the? Give me the name, the nationality of the native people of this land. And show me the records. Show me the records that that national people was dealing with that. Show me treaties and records of that national people holding these Europeans in bondage. Show me the records of that the name of that people that was dealing with these European powers. Our next question, a statement or comment or.
Well, I have a question.
Yes.
So in the treaty with the Delawares that was being discussed earlier,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think I looked up the second one, which is not good. When you're doing research, you should go down as far as you can. But it references Indians throughout. And now, so the word Indians, is that something that was just made up? And then what
No.
is the nationality of the so-called Indians
All
or
right.
the people who
All
are
right.
referenced?
You got two questions. So let me address both questions. All right. Let me address the first question. You're asking for the etymology of the name an Indian. What is the etymology of the name Indian? Sindhu. Sindhu is the etymology, the Sanskrit word Sindhu, S-H, all right, Shindu, Sindhu, name of a river, the Sanskrit. The S was removed. The S was removed, all right, and from Sindhu to Hindu, and it was anglicized to Indian. That's the etymology and the transliteration and the reconstruction of the word Indian. The Moors were classified as Indians by the British. The British classified the Moors as Indians. The Moors were reclassified as Negroes. Moors classified by British. There were some Moors were classified by the British as Indian and reclassified by the United States as Negroes. All right, the United States didn't classify anyone as Indian. Hear me out. United States did not classify any people, anyone as Indian. The British did. United States maintained the classification, and they also reclassified Moors as Negroes. The French classified Moors as Nor or Negro too, and Spanish. Black, the what's it called? Code Nor. Code Nor. The French applied the Code Nors in 1685 in the Caribbeans, and applied the Code Nords in 1724 in the Louisiana Territory. All right. So United States, the only classification that was created by the United States was African American. African American is the only you could if you say, all right, if you want to put something on the United States, you can't put Indian on the United States as far as classifying the people. As far as it's talking about the initiation of that. Mm-hmm. You can't put Negro on the United States as far as initiating that classification. You can't put Black on the United States as far as initiating that classification. The only classification as far as that you can put on the United States is African American. The other classifications were Spain, France, and England. That's Black, Negro, Nor, Indian. And who were they fighting? Who captured them? Who seized their ships? All right. And Najma?
Yes.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too.
And you have in Livorno, Italy. I want to give people references. In Livorno, Italy, throughout the 1500s, Moors, not Negroes, Moors, not Indian, Moors, not Arabs, Moors, not Blacks, Moors were held in captivity for 100 years. Thousands of Moors in Livorno, Italy. There's a statue called the Statue of the Four Moors in Livorno, Italy. Fernando the First is at the top of the statue, and at the base of the statue are four Moors. Quattro More, M-O-I-R, four Moors, bounded in chains. That's a history. What's the history? You're looking at a huge market of Moors in captivity throughout the 1500s. You talk about this tremendous Moorish power. The Moors are invaders. So what's the name? What's the nationality of the people here then? Of the native people here? I do a lot of research, y'all. I read a lot. Y'all got the same stuff I got. It's in Moors Masonry Part 1 and 2. I share everything I got. I'm not holding anything back. I'm not holding anything back. I'm bringing it and bringing it and bringing it and bringing it. And I said before, we have to increase. We got to increase the level of knowledge of Moors, conscious and unconscious, so that we can defend our position against anyone.
Someone said in 1621 the word Indian was substituted for Moorish.
Oh. Oh. I thought that. Any other questions or comments?
Someone said consul authority is paramount in international relations.
Yes. Consul authority is paramount in international relations, and the authority of a consul is derived from treaty.
Pertaining to UN treaties. That's all.
Any criticism?
Yes,
Abdullah,
but I'm not.
Abdullah doesn't know what he's talking about, which is I have no problem saying.
No one said
but
that.
they have to show me that I don't know what I'm talking about, because Najma, these people can't. They can't. They're just going to say, they have to show me. I have no problem saying, no one saying that I don't know what I'm talking about, that they can't put it, they have to put the period there and then say, Abdullah, here, according to these primary sources, Abdullah, according to these secondary sources, Abdullah, I got to hear that. Right. If I don't hear that, the conversation is over. If I don't hear that references, there's no conversation's over. I'm not even next.
Someone said people are talking as if it's a group, not a national identity bloodline.
That's why Taj and I, that's why we use conscious and unconscious Moors. That's why I decided to do that 29 years ago. Yes.
Someone said it's degrading to call Moors unconscious.
All right, hear me out. No problem. That's a claim. It's degrading to call. It's degrading to call Moors unconscious. All right, let's go. Unconscious. All right, that's as prefix plus root plus suffix. The root word is SCI, as in the word science. No. All right. CON, the first prefix, with, together like. On, the second prefix means not. The suffix IOUS means process of, conditional state of, not knowing. They don't know that they're Moors. They don't know that they're Moors. Najma is a conscious Moor, meaning she is aware, she has knowledge of her Moorish nationality, history, culture. All right? Some acknowledges friends, all right? If they don't have knowledge of their, Naja calls one of her friends a Moor, who's unconscious Moor. She says, yeah, hey, Moors. She's out with her friends. They're unconscious. And she says, hey, Moors. Moors? I ain't no Moor. I'm black. All right, so what you are? What would you call them, Najma? Conscious Moor?
Unconscious.
Thank you. I mean, they're Moors, but I'm saying I explain why Taj and I decided to use conscious more than unconscious more. We explained that already.
I think this person is saying that when the reference is made to people who classify themselves as Moors, but then because they may not have as much knowledge, that they're considered unconscious because they don't.
No. I never said that.
No,
I
this
never
is
said
where
that.
this is what she's saying. I think, and it could
Oh
be
yeah,
that.
but I'm talking about she. I can't, Najma. I can't. All right. If she's asking me, I can't say that somebody else said that. I can't. I mean, that's somebody else. I'm talking about me. That's unfair. That's unfair for that person to put what somebody else's definition, all right, on what they saying. Well, conscious. That's not what I've said, though. That's not what I said. If somebody was conscious that they're more, regardless of what knowledge base, if they know that, I mean, they know they're not nickel color black, and they say they're more. That they found out 3 seconds ago. They're conscious. They're conscious more. They may not have the knowledge I have, and Shim has, and Najma has, but they know that they're not nickel color black. But let's move. Yeah, next one.
Are we privy to obtaining that court document? I don't know what that
What's
means.
that court document?
I don't know. I'm just reading. So I have no idea. I can't get past watching active Moors making differences and not asking or waiting for permission from. Oh, I think I read this one already. From de facto imposters, when we are the sovereigns and rightful in each one's capacity to govern. No, I didn't read that. Okay.
All right. Let me address that. Yes, we're the sovereigns of the land. Our empire has been collapsed due to European conquest. All right. It's just all right. I apologize, y'all, for being practical. I apologize for being practical. And I said to you before, I said to you, Najma, I said 2 or 3 weeks ago, you got conscious Moors who are unrealistic. They poking their chest out. They find out they're more yesterday. They got this new more energy. They found out yesterday they were more. I got 30 years of observation. 30 years of observation of thousands of conscious Moors. And I've seen conscious Moors poking their chest out. They become conscious yesterday. And they poking this chest out. This is my land. Here's my land. They like, man, they European can't do nothing. I'm the sovereign of the land. This is my land. You know, they hear. I'm not Najma.
I know.
I'm not exaggerating.
What do you mean?
Najma, I am not. Please, y'all. I am not exaggerating. Those type of people lasts for 3 seconds. They got this called New More Energy. I'm King Kong and I'm ready to take on the world. They last for 3 seconds. 3 seconds. They can't do nothing to me. We're the south of the land. This is my land. I've seen it over and 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 over again. Next.
These are mainly a lot of statements.
Abdullah ain't shit.
No,
Abdullah don't know nothing.
no statements like that are in here.
Hey, I mean, I've been called that. So, I mean, that wouldn't be surprising. That's what I'm saying. It wouldn't be surprising. That's why I said it, because yeah.
Comments. The court documents I reference. The court documents I referenced was the time Abdullah was speaking about the International Court of Law, the court transcript.
Still, you know, I don't. All right.
Yeah, that's all.
All right. So, all right, everyone. This was good. Shim did a great job, and I'm gonna give that to you, Najma. That because Shim did bring that, he did reference the history of extraterritoriality. We do have that. That's in the kind of memorial. So I want to show that. I want to start with that next week. All right. I'll make sure you have that. I want to start with that history because Shim did mention a couple times, and I want to give wanted people to see that. All right, so that they're not saying Shim said, that they can actually see it. And it's in chapter 9 of Moors and Masonry Part 2. But we'll in fact, I'll do a live on that tomorrow, and not that section, and I will bring that. We're going to start with that until next week. All right.
Okay. The legal document, real quick, was France versus the United States. That's the.
Oh yes, France. That's the court case.
Right.
Yes, France versus United States International Court of Justice, 1952. Yes.
Right. Okay. Peace, love, and light, everybody. Have a good week. Keep your energy up. No Popeyes to nobody. No Popeyes sandwiches.
No Popeyes.
Peace, love, and light. My TV-DMV.
Peace.